Destin, Florida. Clear water under the bridge and fishing boats lined up at sunrise. In 4 days, you can hit the best public beaches, ride out to the famous Sandbar, see dolphins, and still have a slow night or two where you are not stuck in traffic or in a parking lot you regret. By the end of this video, you will know how to move smart, where to eat, and what to save for next time. Day 1. Beach morning, harbor evening. Start with the simple move. Wake up on the Destin side and aim your morning at Henderson Beach State Park. It sits right off Highway 98 with its own entrance road and a real parking lot, which means you are not circling condo driveways trying to guess what is public Florida state parks usually charge around $6 per vehicle for a day, which covers everyone in the car. Check the current rate on the park site before you go, but plan on that kind of number. At the boardwalk, you will see the colored flags. Green means calmer water. Yellow means there is a noticeable pull, and you should stay closer. In red means strong surf and rip current risk, only for strong swimmers. Double red means the water is closed to swimming. Purple warns about jellyfish or other marine life. The same system runs all along this part of the Gulf, so once you learn it here, you can read every access point with a quick look. Give yourself a simple first morning. Walk out on the boardwalk, pick a stretch of sand, and actually get in the water before the heat builds. The parking lot usually fills slower than the smaller roadside lots, so if you are through the gate by 9, you will feel ahead of the curve. Umbrellas and chairs are often available to rent in season, and you can always bring your own and set up a little back from the waterline. When hunger shows up, keep lunch close and easy. The back porch has been serving grilled fish, shrimp, and simple plates on the sand for years, and it is a short drive from the park. Expect a wait at peak lunch hours, so if you want to beat the crowd, go a bit early, and you will likely land a table with a view. If you want something quicker and more casual, Local Market on Highway 98 makes good breakfast and lunch sandwiches with beach-friendly sides. Either way, this is a chance to eat without losing your parking base for the afternoon. After lunch, shift to the harbor side of town. Destin calls itself the world's luckiest fishing village, and the harbor is where you feel that claim. Park near HarborWalk Village, in one of the paid lots or garages that sit just above the boardwalk. Most of these are pay by space or pay by plate. You type in your license plate number at a kiosk or scan a code on your phone, pay for the block of time you want, and then you are set. No one wants a parking ticket on vacation, so it is worth the couple of minutes to get this right. Once you are parked, walk the harbor walk. You will see charter boats unloading their catch in the afternoon, souvenir shops and kiosks for dolphin cruises, and small group tours. This is the best moment to lock in a short evening dolphin cruise for tonight or tomorrow. Look for a 90-minute cruise that runs near sunset. It gets you out on the water at the prettiest part of the day and gives you a relaxed reset between the heat of the afternoon and dinner. Ask the operator where they board, what time they want you at the dock, and what parking they recommend near that spot. For dinner, you have several strong choices in walking distance. Harbor Docks is a long running spot just up from the harbor that serves fresh fish, sushi, and simple plates in a relaxed room that still feels local. Dewey Destin's on the harbor side is another reliable choice if you want baskets and platters and a view of the water while you eat. Both places focus on food and families, not nightlife. If you book that Dolphin cruise, you can time dinner before or after and stay parked in one place most of the evening. End your first day on the harbor boardwalk or at nearby Noriego Point, where you can watch the boats move through the pass as the sky changes. Noriego Point is a park at the tip of Holiday Isle that gives you a view back toward HarborWalk and out toward the Gulf. You reach it by a short drive through the neighborhood. Parking is limited, so if the lot is full, treat it as a luck bonus instead of a must-do. Either way, you go to sleep knowing the basic layout of Destin, and you have already seen both the beach line and the harbor from ground level. Day 2, Crab Island and Okaloosa Island. Today is about getting off the sand and onto the water in a way that makes sense for a visitor. Crab Island is the shallow sandbar you see in all the Destin drone photos. You cannot walk to it and you cannot drive to it. You need a boat, a shuttle, or a water taxi. If you are confident on the water, you can rent a small pontoon boat from one of the marinas near the bridge. Most rentals include basic instructions, life jackets, and a map that shows you the marked channel out to Crab Island. Prices change with season and size of boat, but plan on a few $100s for a 4 to 8 hour rental and divide that between your group. If that feels like too much responsibility, there are dedicated Crab Island shuttle boats that run fixed trips. They act like a water taxi and floating base at the same time. Typical tickets land somewhere between $30 and $50 for adults, with kids a bit less, and trips usually run from late spring through early fall. Always check the current schedule and prices when you book. Whether you rent your own boat or ride a shuttle, pack with respect for the water. You need reef-safe sunscreen, water, snacks, and something to keep your phone dry. Bring a small trash bag and bring everything back that you carry out. The water over the sandbar is shallow, often around waist deep in many spots, but currents and weather still matter. Listen to the crew if you are on a shuttle. If you are driving your own boat, stay in the marked channels and keep an eye on the wind and weather radar. Plan to spend the morning and early afternoon at Crab Island, then ride back in time for a late lunch. If you return to the harbor area, Burrito del Sol has quick, fresh food that hits hard after hours in the sun. Another solid option is a simple burger and fries at one of the harbor walk-up spots, where you can eat at a picnic table and watch boats glide past. Once everyone is rinsed and rested, point the car toward Okaloosa Island. It sits just west of Destin across the Destin Bridge. Your target is the Gulfarium Marine Adventure Park and the boardwalk at Okaloosa Island. The Gulfarium has been around for decades and focuses on marine animal shows and exhibits in a compact space that is easy to cover in a couple of hours. General admission for adults is usually in the $30 range, with children a bit lower, and hours most days run from late morning to late afternoon. Check their site for exact times and any special programs during your visit. After the Gulfarium, you can walk directly to the public beach and the Okaloosa Island fishing pier. There is a shared parking area that often fills on peak summer weekends, so arriving mid-afternoon can help you snag a spot as earlier visitors leave. The pier charges a small fee to walk and a higher fee if you want to fish. Even if you do not cast a line, a stroll out over the water gives you a wide view of the coastline and a different feel than the state park beach from yesterday. Stay for sunset on the sand here if you want a change of view, or drive back to Destin for dinner. For families, Lulu's Destin, near the Mid-Bay Bridge, has a big footprint with sandy play areas, simple coastal food, and space for kids to move around while you wait for a table. If you prefer to stay closer to where you are already parked, the boardwalk area has several family-friendly spots that face the water with easy walk-up access. Keep it simple. Eat where the wait time and menu feel right, and let the kids burn the last of their energy on the beach or in the public play areas before you head back to your room. If you traveled into Destin using the Mid-Bay Bridge, remember that it is a toll bridge. Passenger cars pay around $4 each way, with discounts for electronic toll programs. Rates can change, so check the latest toll chart or a Florida toll site when you plan your route. That small cost can save you time compared to crawling through traffic on Highway 20 near Niceville on a busy day. Day 3. Scenic 30A and nearby beaches. You have seen the core of Destin. Now use one full day for the coastline east of town that locals talk about when they say 30A. Highway 30A is a scenic road that runs along the Gulf through a string of small beach communities between Destin and Panama City Beach. You can reach it in about 30 minutes from central Destin if traffic is light. To make the most of the day, leave by 8 in the morning so you reach your first stop before most day trippers. Start at Grayton Beach State Park or Topsail Hill. Preserve State Park depending on which one fits your mood. Grayton Beach sits just off 30A and offers a wide natural beach, dune lakes, and trails. Topsail Hill is reached from Highway 98 near Santa Rosa Beach and has tall dunes, long, quiet stretches of sand, and a tram that carries you from the parking lot to the beach access. Both parks charge a modest day use fee, often around $4 to $6 per vehicle. Both usually open early in the morning and close at sunset. Check the park pages for exact fees and hours before you go. Spend the morning walking, swimming, and taking a break from the busier condo backdrop in Destin. These parks feel more natural and less built up. Bring water and snacks so you are not always chasing the next store. When you are ready for lunch, drive a short distance to Seaside, the planned town that often shows up in photos of 30A. Seaside has a central square with a small amphitheater, a row of food trucks that often serve tacos, grilled cheese, and simple plates, and several sit-down restaurants and markets around the edges. Parking can be tight on busy days and is a mix of small lots and curb spaces, so be patient and watch the signs. Once you park, you can do everything on foot. This is a good spot to let teens roam a bit within clear boundaries while younger kids play on the lawn. After lunch, walk up to the beach access in Seaside for a quick look at the water, then move the car further east along 30A. You can stop for a short walk through Alice Beach with its white architecture and neat streets, or Rosemary Beach, which has a European-style town center with shops and more food options. You do not have to buy anything to enjoy the walk. Pay attention to private versus public paths, since some beach boardwalks are for community guests only. Later in the afternoon, start making your way back toward Destin and give Miramar Beach a turn. Miramar sits between 30A and Central Destin and has several public access points with parking lots right off the main road. Pompano Joe's is a well-known spot here where you can eat on the sand side of the road. Again, you focus on food and view, not drinks. If the lot is full, there are other nearby public accesses with smaller lots and boardwalks where you can still get a last swim. End the day at Destin Commons or another simple shopping area if you have any energy left. Destin Commons is an outdoor mall with a mix of national brands, a movie theater, and a small splash area that runs in season. It is an easy place to walk a bit after hours in the car, pick up any forgotten beach gear, and maybe let the kids play while one adult ducks into a store. Then you go back to your room feeling like you saw more than one version of the Gulf. Day 4. Fishing, family rides, and last light. Destin's identity starts with fishing, so your last full day is a good moment to try a charter if that fits your budget and interest. There are several types of trips out of Destin Harbor. Shared party boats take larger groups on longer trips at a lower cost per person. Smaller charters carry only your group and give you more control over how the day goes. Half-day trips are common and can start early in the morning. Prices vary with season, length, and boat size, but expect a half-day on a shared boat to land somewhere in the $100 to $150 range per adult, with smaller discounts for kids and private trips higher. Book your charter at least a day or two ahead if you can. When you book, ask what time they want you at the dock, what to bring, and what they handle for you. Most charters include fishing licenses, bait, and gear. You bring your own snacks, water, hat, and sunscreen. If anyone in your group is prone to motion sickness, talk with a doctor ahead of the trip or use over-the-counter medicine as directed. The Gulf can be calm or choppy depending on wind and swell, and you will enjoy the trip more if you are prepared. After your charter, the crew will often clean your catch back at the dock for a tip. Some harbor restaurants offer cook your catch options, where they prepare your fillets with sides for a set price per person. Ask your charter captain which places they recommend for this service. It is one of the more satisfying ways to finish a fishing day, and it keeps the meal simple since you already know what the main course will be. Once you have eaten and rested a bit, you have two main directions for the afternoon. The first is Big Kahuna's Water and Adventure Park, which sits right on Highway 98 in Destin. It has water slides, a lazy river, a wave pool, and some dry rides. The park generally runs daily hours in the summer and a lighter schedule in the shoulder seasons. Hours and opening dates shift each year, so check the current calendar on their site. Buying tickets online in advance can sometimes save a little money and help you avoid a long ticket line at the gate. The second option is the Track, a family fun park on Highway 98 with go-karts, mini golf, bumper rides, and an arcade. It opens most days by late morning and runs into the evening. You load points onto a card and then tap that card at each ride or game. This lets different members of the group pick what they like without everyone having to ride the same thing. For some families, a couple of hours here is more fun than another full afternoon on the sand. If you prefer a quieter lane, you can skip both parks and give yourself one more simple beach block. James Lee Park, sometimes called the Crab Trap Beach because of the restaurant there, has a large public lot, restrooms, and showers. Get there after 4 in the afternoon and you may catch turnover from the day crowd, which makes parking easier. The light is softer, the water is still warm in season, and you can watch the sky change without roasting. However you spend your afternoon, build time for a final sunset that feels intentional. You can stand on the sand at Henderson Beach again if you want a familiar spot, or you can walk back out on the harbor boardwalk and watch the sun slide behind the boats and bridge pick one place and stay with it. This is one of those moments where doing less actually makes the memory clearer. On your way back to the room, do a quick mental check. If you use the Mid-Bay Bridge during your trip, map your route to the airport or interstate with that toll in mind. If you did a lot of moving along Highway 98, note which intersections backed up and which side streets helped you cut around the worst of it. That is 4 days in Destin that feel full without feeling busy. You learned the flag colors, you figured out the bridges, and you saw the harbor from the sand and from the water. You know a state park that works on a crowded day and a bay corner that feels calm when the surf is loud. Leave one thing on purpose for next time, whether it is a cruise you walked past or a season you did not try. Destin will be in the same place, and now you have a map in your head instead of guesswork.